I'm a product of my decisions.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
This is a story about me betting on me and why you should bet on you.
This is 6 weeks, 6 weeks here on 11-2-7. 2 clicks every direction.
The way that I'ma do it, they can't top that. No way. Critics trying to hate, but I don't talk back. I know that. Plotting on the kid with the bull, tell him all that. I'm the one that I'ma gamble on. I ramble on. I'm about to get my ramble on. And I'm the one they really couldn't get a handle on. Then when they see they missed the boy, they get a tantrum on. And I know they never thought we would make it. Underdogs, it wouldn't be Gable. Labels gon' ask what we bring. Tell them we bringing the table. Yeah, I bet on myself. Take off your shoes, crib brand new. Yeah, I'm about to go in like a damn fool. I'm leaving your mans, them in shambles. You know, light up the wax like a candle. Like been on fire, watch me heat up the track. I took the crown, I ain't giving it back. Unless you got L's on your wish list. Messing with me, you gon' big a statistic. Really, you think you'll get it back? That's silly. I'm about to run the game, no kidding. I'm way too cold, too. You did? Look at my team going way off. Now we running the game, they can't play y'all. We don't need an assist, now we counting up chips. I think it's time that they pay y'all. Let's go.
And this is how we shoot drink videos here at Fridays.
It's a rough gig, but someone's got to do it. You should say it's a rough day.
It is a rough day. Hey, where the other drinks at? We got other drinks. Hold on. This one,
For the ladies out there that think there's alcohol in it,
I didn't touch it because there's no alcohol in it. This one, you know I didn't touch it, ladies and gentlemen. Tell them why I didn't touch it.
there might be just a no alcohol.
There's no alcohol.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry we had the delay. I'm just gonna be real. I was on the phone with a client. I ain't gonna hold you up. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna be really, really honest with you. I was on the phone with a client. I apologize, a few seconds late, but let's talk about something today. Today I want to talk about a few things that you need to know about. Real quick, I'm gonna ask everybody to post where you're from in the comments. Today, there's something that if you're a member here at Flash Home Academy, if you've been following us, if you've been a part of this community, you know I am not big on asking clients what is their budget, right? There's a reason why. When you ask people what is their budget, it's the equivalent of saying, well, how much money did you spend with me today? And it lowers your ability to present value to a client because in their mind, they feel like you're trying to spend up every amount of dollar that they have provided. You're trying to spend every single dollar they provided. And that's not cool. So, are you tired of clients choosing cheaper content creators over you? Today, we're going to give you 5 key strategies to help you identify high value clients who understand how great content is more than cost. It's an investment. And over time, you will learn how to determine whether or not, well, actually not over time after this video, you're going to determine whether or not you're speaking with somebody who is going to spend the bag or not. There are certain things they do. They say there's certain things they worry about. There's certain things that's important to them that if you have the experience of being in this industry, then you understand. And we're going to talk about those 5 things so you can identify who you should be investing your time in and who you shouldn't be investing your time in. But first, I'm going to ask that you hit that subscribe button. I'm going to ask that you hit that like button. I'm going to ask that you, if you're listening to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, I'm going to ask that you go ahead and give me a 5-star or leave a rating. But first, what we got to do is we got to roll that intro, fam. We got to roll that intro so we can get right into it. Let's do it.
You're listening to Content and Cash, a Flash Film Academy podcast. If you want to learn how to take pretty pictures, this is not the place. But if you're ready to make a living by learning the business behind the camera, buckle up, because it's time to turn passion into profit with your host, Ty Turner.
What's good, everybody? If this is your first time on this channel, you gotta know that this channel is about growing the bag. It's about understanding the business side of content creation. And that's what we talk about here. That's all we talk about here. If you want to learn how to take better pictures, if you want to learn how to make your girlfriend look a little cuter, her waist a little thinner, this ain't the place. But when you want to learn how to get that bag, this is the channel you need to be subscribed to. This is the place you need to follow. So if you're on TikTok, hit that heart. Wherever you at, go ahead and do that. Really quick, two things I want to talk about before we get into it. Right now, listen, we're looking to take Flash Film Academy to the next level. And we have an opportunity for those who love and support the brand to possibly invest in the brand and make a return on that investment, fam. We're not doing donations. We ain't doing all this other stuff. We're giving you an opportunity to make the bag when we make the bag. So we're not doing no t-shirts and no handouts and no donations. We ain't about that life. When we have success, you have success. There's no way I'm gonna teach you about business and not give you an opportunity to be a part of the business. All right? Check that out. It's a survey, just a survey right now. Go ahead, check that out. All right. Just like Carlos said, if you want to learn how to get paid, this is a place for you. This is all we talk about. This is all we're gonna talk about. Real quick, also, post where you're from in the comments. Whether you're on TikTok, whether you're on YouTube, post where you're from in the comments. I would love to hear about it as we move on ahead and do this thing real quick. I'm gonna punch you in the throat real quick today. All right, real quick. Let's talk about 5 ways to know what your client on. You need to identify these cues early because they can save you time, they can save you money, and you'll know who to go all in for and who not to. You're going to get a lot of tire kickers, especially if you don't have a brand. And this is the thing I want to talk about because it's so important. I've had people go to my website and be like, man, I don't think I can afford you. You know what? You're probably right. You have to have the ability to disqualify people. And a lot of your branding don't disqualify people. That's why you get the cheap guys. That's why you attract the cheap guys. If you don't have a brand, it's probably because you attract the cheap guys. You don't got the website. You don't got the reel. You don't have what it takes to look like a business that do this professionally. That's up front. It's hard to overcome that if you have not invested in your brand. But we're going to give you 5 more reasons. We ain't going to talk about what you should be doing because we talk about that like crazy over in Module 1. And Module 1 and Module 3 really breaks down what you need to present to look like a company that's worth 5, 10, 50, 500,000 a video. It's about how you present yourself. Right? If you go to the bar and you acting all loosey-goosey and present yourself that way, you're going to attract that. If you go in there with your head up and some confidence, you're going to attract that. So you can't blame the world on what you attract. You got to blame yourself and you got to fix it. It's all about you. You are in the situation you built for yourself. So let's talk about 5 ways to understand how you got a high value client. Things you should be paying attention to as you have a conversation with the client. And these are things I can pick up on the first conversation. I'm just used to doing it, fam. This is just what I've been doing. All right. I'm just used to doing it. And I want you to get used to doing it too. Up first. And this is something huge, and I don't understand why more content creators don't do this. I like to ask about their previous experience with content creators. This is the point where I learn if they're a bad client or not, because some people micromanage, they're weird, they got all these crazy expectations, they want a lot for a little. This is where clients usually tell on themselves. And I get to learn who they are, what they about, and what am I getting myself into? In the beginning, I didn't know these signs, and I would end up with these clients from hell. and I'm already giving them a deal. They already getting the hookup, and they're still terrible clients. So these are things that you need to be, why you need to be asking these questions so that you understand what went wrong with the last client. Inquire about their past content creation projects. If they mention working with high-end photographers or videographers, or investing in high-quality images, or express dissatisfaction with previous cheaper services, it indicates value. It indicates that they value quality. Their willingness to discuss it, or what they like or what they didn't like about previous work, gives insights to their priorities. I'm always asking about, have you went with a company before? Think about it. We've all flown a cheap airline and was like, I'm not doing that again. Or you flown a cheap airline and was like, yo, that ain't bad. For those that was like, I'm not doing that again, you have your reasons. We need to know what those reasons are so we can make sure you don't run into those reasons again. And to understand, oh, you a Spirit flyer, huh? Okay, nothing wrong with that. But now I know. I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but I need to know that. Because that means you did it once. You may say, I ain't never doing it again. I ain't no way. I know what I'm working with. You may say, I'm cool with it. I love it. I'm not about to spend $300 for a plane ticket. I'm cool spending $129 plus 50 for my bag plus 50 for my seat. I'm like, bro, when you do the math, you do realize you're spending more. Regardless, you need to know that when you're working with clients. You need to have this conversation when you're talking to clients. So very important that you ask these questions. Number two, this is very important. You need to evaluate their expectations and requirements. I need to understand, what are your expectations? What are your requirements? Now, the guys who don't have experience in the industry is going to chalk this up to camera quality. I need 4K. Your client don't give a damn about that. Your client care about the purpose of the content they're creating and the problem that it solves. It's very important that we speak their language, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be 100 with you. Every client that I've ever had that cared about camera quality was usually my cheaper low-end clients. Because you know why they care about camera quality? Let me tell you. Let me punch you in the throat. Let me punch you in the throat as to how I know they care about camera quality. Because at one point, they were going to shoot it themselves. Or they know somebody who was going to try to shoot it. And they looked at their gear or researched gear because they were getting ready to film this. You think they want to pay you to do it? They don't. They're not thinking about the problem. They're thinking about filming. That's why they care about what kind of camera, what kind of high-end clients that have big problems don't give a damn about your equipment. They never have, they never will. As long as you don't deliver something that's like, what the heck? Now, pause, because those of you that got pushback, you're getting filmmaking mixed with content creation. Filmmakers care about that because it's going to be shown on a big screen, and everybody on the staff are technical people who care about the equipment. They're supposed to, they're paid to. We're not talking about filmmakers. We're talking about business owners with budget that got big problems. They don't care about what kind of camera you use. They care about your ability to solve their problem, period. The cheap guy who like, yeah, I got a camera, but whenever I film, it come out dark, or who don't understand nothing, who think it's the camera, they're going to nickel and dime you because they got a cousin that got this and got that, and they looking at every lens you pull out your box because they are trying to understand how you're doing it. And then they're going to pay you a lot of money to look over your shoulder because they plan on shooting it themselves next time in a lot of cases. So we want to make sure we are working with the right client, and the right client, we got to pay attention to their expectations and requirements, because if it's based on problems and not gear, you're onto something, right? Pay attention to their the specifics they request. Again, clients who prioritize quality often have clear expectations on what they want, and usually the outcome, what they want to solve, what point do they want to prove, what do they want to say about their brand. That is the most important part to working with clients who are ready to spend some money. They don't care about the gear. All right, up next, number 3. Observe their interest in your expertise and recommendations. Clients who want it done right are going to sit back and say, you're the expert. Tell me what I need to do. Often on this channel, I talk a lot about writing prescriptions. When you go to your doctor, you're not fighting your doctor about the prescriptions they write or what they suggest. You may have input on what hurt, what's not right, and they're asking questions to understand it. But when they write their prescription, in most cases, you're not fighting. You're not in the emergency room saying, "Nah, doc, don't clear my airway first. My knee broke." The doctor like, "We don't care if your knee broke, fool. If you can't breathe, your knee don't matter. Let me do my job." You right. So make sure that you are the doctor in the situation. And clients that are high value clients care about your experience and expertise. And this is the thing. A lot of people think their experience or expertise is involved with the camera. It's not. Nobody care about the camera. Nobody care about your ability to expose, because every iPhone can properly expose. If you're still selling that, you're not going to make it. It's no nice way of putting it. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. That's what your mama for. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. If your expertise is the exposure triangle, you're not going to make it, fam. You're not going to make it. I don't know what to tell you. It ain't much to tell you. You're just not going to make it. Let's talk about the number 4 thing real quick. And let me say this as well. I gotta run these while I'm on here real quick. This episode is brought to you by our Capture and Convert Kit, which is 2 easy payments of free $99. Free $99 over at Flashfilm Academy. It's going to get loud in a second just to make sure you pay me. All right. Now that we got you. It's free. 5 courses, 2 ebooks. Don't say I'm not giving you enough to go get a job and then become a Flashfilm Academy member. I do it every week. Every week I give you tips on being a better business owner so that you can go out and get the bag and come join the family. Iron sharpen iron. All right. Let's get to the next one. Gauge their decision-making process. This is something a lot of people don't talk about. I don't know if they're not in the field. I don't know if they've never worked with big clients, but this is very important. This is very important. Ask them how they usually make decisions when hiring a service provider, right? If they mention factors like reputation, experience, or portfolio quality as top consideration, this is signs that they focus on quality. Clients who prioritize quality often take more strategic approach to decision making, considering the long-term benefits and impact rather than the immediate cost. They're thinking of the long-term impact of this content, the problem that it solves. They're thinking about this big, remember, we want to solve big problems. Cash big checks when you solve big problems. You should be looking to solve big problems. You should be looking to cash a big check by understanding your client and the problems and needs that they go through. So think about that. Carlos say, honest to God, I went from charging $800 to over $50K. Flashfilm Academy is the truth. Happy to support. Absolutely. Think $800 a job to $50,000. Absolutely. Happens. It's great to see it happen. It's great to see it happen. So if you're on the fence, they telling you why you should join. Last but not least, and then we're gonna get to the Q&A. So if you got questions, go ahead and pop them on the screen, pop them in the comments. We'll get to them. Go ahead and throw them up there. Last but not least, assess their understanding of an ROI. Assess their understanding of a return on the investment. Clients who talk return on investment are going to be, they understand what they're going to make off this. They don't mind spending more. Clients that's like, well, we'll see. Maybe. I don't know. We're going to try to. ROI is one of the biggest determining factors on what you can charge for content, right? Businesses understand ROI much greater than people. That's why your checks are bigger when you go B2B as compared to B2C. Most customers don't look, a wedding photographer or somebody that's hiring a wedding photographer is not hiring them to provide a return on their investment. So it's not a logical decision. It's an emotional decision. That's why it's harder to separate yourself as a wedding photographer than a corporate event photographer, even though it's the same skill set. In fact, it probably takes less skill set to be a corporate event photographer. Now, don't get me wrong. There is still a bag to be had in wedding photography, and there's still ways to separate yourself. But when I put it on, when I rank it, is it the easiest way to get the biggest bag? It's not going to be, it's going to be closer to the top than like shooting parties or things like that. But it's probably the biggest bag you can get in the B2C market. It's the biggest bag you can get. And that's why we support it here at Flash Film Academy, because there is a bag to be had. And if you handle yourself like a business, you offer more value to a client that's making an emotional decision. You give them some logic to go with it. But businesses work on pure logic. They don't have to like you. If you solve their problem, they will hire you. If you can make it make sense, they will hire you. If what you offer, they feel like the value is there, they will pay it. It's not up for debate. They're bringing in a specialist. Companies only go outside their walls to bring in somebody who specializes in something they don't have people to do. And I've told you guys plenty of times, I've been hired by companies to shoot video when they had a video department, but their video department didn't have the expertise, or at least didn't portray themselves to have the expertise that we had in solving that problem. You can't compete with a video department if your biggest asset is video and quality. Your budget for gear is not the same as that company's budget for gear. You cannot compete stepping in the world of B2B with companies who have, they don't even have to have video departments. They can have somebody on their staff that's like, I like shooting video. Hey, come on, you hired. We already got you on the payroll. If you don't have an expertise, if you don't specialize in something, you won't be hired. You cannot compete with straight quality because everybody got 4K 60. Everybody got 8K 30. And guess what? Nobody got a monitor to watch that junk at its full potential. So nobody really cares. There's people who've been shooting in 4K and ain't never watched the 4K video. I said it once, I said it again. There's those that shooting 4K and ain't got 4K in their pocket. They ain't getting 4K a job. You showing up shooting in this high resolution, this tearing up hard drives that you got to edit and compress and do all this stuff on. And you doing it on a 1080p monitor or 2K monitor. You don't have a 4K monitor to see the quality that you're able to capture. That's a problem. But we ain't gonna talk about it. So last but not least, like I said, discuss how they plan to use the content and what results they expect from the project. Clients who prioritize quality typically understand that investing in high quality content can lead to better outcomes, such as increased engagement, higher sales, or a stronger brand image. If they mention that they expect the content to play a crucial role in achieving specific business goals, it shows that they value the return on investment and are more likely to prioritize quality over a budget. Quality over a budget. You have to have the ability to identify these with your clients. And if you understand to look for these, you know when to go all in. You know when you got to keep her in front of you. You got to go all in if you got to keep her in front of you. That's if you got a high value client in front of you. You got to go all in. Some of you have fumbled the bag because you didn't understand these cues and you submitted a low price trying to be the cheap guy, and that low price turned off that client. You probably lost more clients by looking cheap than looking expensive. Hell, you can lose a client for looking expensive, and that client will be like, man, we ain't got it, but when we get it, we gonna come back and holler at you. It's happened to me plenty of times. They had a low budget. We overshot their budget. We couldn't make it work. They went with the cheap guy. It was awful. They went back and got more money and came back and hired us. It's happened way more times than I can think of. So a lot of times you're undervaluing yourself, or you're not presenting your ability to solve a problem. So when you get the cheap guys will throw some money at something to see if it worked, to see if it stick. They'll throw $200, $300, $400, $500. And a lot of times, and this is something that I can tell you now, looking at these 5 points, there's a lot of content creators who have consistent work, not because they're good, but because they're cheap. And they're so cheap, a client can gamble every single time. And this content creator think they're doing something. But guess what? The moment it rains or the economy halfway stutter, them cheap guys ain't calling you no more. They're not rocking with you. The minute they've tasted quality, they're not rocking with you no more. They're gone. They're doing something else. So real quick, let me go over these 5 one more time. I'm going to punch you in the throat and I'm going to slide on out. Because it's Tuesday. I know y'all got stuff to do. Real quick. Number 5 is they ask you need to ask about previous experience with content creators. You need to understand what went right, what went wrong. Something that you need to do to identify whether or not they're a high value client. Number 2 is you need to evaluate their expectations and requirements. What do they expect from this? What do they expect to happen after creating this video? I need clients to say, I expect to have a higher close rate. I want to hear an ROI answer. I don't want to hear clients say, well, we expect to have some cinematic dope content that looks great. It's not why we're creating it. We're creating it to do something. And if your client isn't thinking that way, you need to instill that. You need to give them the bait, see if they bite. Because if you're not solving a problem, your check is not going to be big. Big checks come with solving big problems. We want to observe their interests and your expertise and recommendations. I'm telling you, the biggest checks you will ever get in this industry are from clients to say, hey, we don't know nothing about nothing. You do it. You tell us what to do, we gonna do it. We just know we need to do it. We just know this the problem. Help us. Help me. Those are the biggest, the clients that get out the way are the biggest checks. The ones that barely pay, they got a discount, it's half of what you charge, they micromanage the hell out of you. What you think? Let me see the picture. You took the picture, let me see. Bro, I ain't got time to sit here and scroll through my pictures while I'm here at an event. I got stuff to do. Those are the worst clients ever, and they're usually the lowest paying clients ever. Don't believe me? Go to the Dollar Tree and see how many people hooting and hollering about stuff in the Dollar Tree. Now go in Gucci and watch somebody get presented with a $3,000 bag and don't blink. Let me get that. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. Go in the hood, go to your low cost places and look at the condition of the establishment. Go to the places where people spend, you would think that people spending $5,000, $6,000 would throw trash on the floor. Like, hey, I'm spending money in here. I don't care. This is what I spent $5,000. They don't. It's clean and immaculate. It's the people who don't spend a lot of money that trash items. Same thing happens in business. People who spend money get out the way. They cut the check and they say, let me know when you're ready. Whatever you think, I believe you, let's do it. So it's very important that you understand that. Very important. So we want to make sure that we want to make sure that we evaluate all of these. Very important. We want to make sure that they are the type of client that trusts you and that trust your recommendations. Next, we want to gauge their decision-making process. Usually, lower paying clients, I got to talk to my wife. I got to figure out, I got to move some. How can you call me and have this idea, but not have the ability to pull the trigger on it? Why am I talking to you? You're stalling. You don't see value. You were hoping you got a price that was so cheap. You was hoping you got a starving artist that you can just be like, yeah, I can blow 200 on this. Why not? That's what you were hoping. As compared to working with a business who understand what needs to take place, and they can walk you through their decision-making process. Cool, got it, got your proposal. We got a meeting on Monday with the board of directors, with the lead of the department and the CFO, so we can make a decision. I'll have a decision for you on Tuesday. I like what I see. I just need to get their thumbs up on it. Roger, got it. Let me explain something to you about adults. And this is something that I live by. This is something that I don't, the world hasn't proven this to be incorrect at all. Adults do whatever in the hell they want to do. Period. Adults do what they want to do. You can tell me whatever. People do what they want to do. If I called you and told you I got $2 for you, you'd be like, I get to it. If I called you and told you I had $2 million for you, I guarantee you, you would get off your ass right now and drive across the country to come get that $2 million because you value that $2 million. $2, I'll get it next time I see you. Adults, people, they do what they want to do. They don't beat around the bush if they want it. They're very direct. They're very intentional. It depends on how they value you or what you offer or what you bring to the table. You've seen a sale on TV that made you get off your ass and be like, they got that for what? Oh, we better go get one of them right now. And you've seen some stuff on TV that's like, I'll get to it when I get to it. It's all in the value you provide to that client. So what we teach you here is how to offer more value. So they treat you like $2 million and not the $2 you're getting used to treated as because you look like a $2 brand. It's very simple. If I present value, it's hard to say no. In fact, it's hard to say yes slow. It's easier to say yes fast when you have value. If I sit a Chevy Cavalier in front of you and be like, do you want it? It's free. You like, I guess. If I say, I got a Lamborghini over here, 2025, nobody got it, fresh out the truck, but you got to come over here to pick it up, you'll be on the way before I get off the phone because of the value or whatever your dream car is. So that's how important value is. And you can't take it. You gotta understand the importance of value because value is different for different people, for different types of companies, for different situations, right? Value, and I use this analogy over and over and over again because it's important that you know value for people who shop at McDonald's is price. Well, it used to be consistency, speed, and availability, and then the taste. Value for people that spend $20 for a burger is the taste. They don't mind waiting 45 minutes for it. They don't mind that there's only one place in the area that make it and they got to drive 20 miles to it. The value is different based off the different client types. Now, some people say, man, I want that $20 client, that $20 per burger client. And some people say, nah, I want that $2 guy because it's 1,000 of them and I'm making $2,000. I only know 4 people that's willing to spend $20 on a burger. To each his own, depending on your niche, your location, where you at. That's why here we don't teach you what to think. We teach you how to think. So think about that. Think about that. So those are the 5 things that you need to keep in mind when you're working with clients and you're looking to determine their price. I'm going to go over them one last quick time. I'm going to ask that if you got questions, we got answers. So get them up here quick. Get to typing and we'll jump right on it. Let me go over it last time before we go in case we got questions. Ask about their previous experience with content creators. 5, evaluate their expectations and requirements. That's 4. Observe their interest in your expertise and your recommendations. That's 3. Number 3. Number 2 is gauge their decision-making process. This is something that people really skip over. And it comes from lack of experience. You don't know what you don't know, right? And it's okay. That's why we're here to teach you the parts that you don't know so you can fill in the gaps and be successful. Last but not least, they understand, or we assess their understanding of an ROI, return on investment. I'm paying attention to my client's ability to understand the importance of an ROI with this content. If they're talking about what this content will do, which is solve a problem. Remember, an investment, they want to make an investment and get a return on that investment. The return on that investment could be solving a problem. It is solving them. Not could be. It is solving a problem. So that problem that they're having could be costing them money. So a return on investment don't always have to be a financial thing. It can be solving a problem or many other things that you need to be mindful of. That's the reason why you need to have a niche, why you need to have a target audience, so that you can get used to solving this problem over and over again, and you get really good at solving that problem. You become the best at solving that problem, and you can command the prices you require when you're the best at doing it. Michael Jordan is the second best at putting the ball in the hole. Second to LeBron. It is what it is. So that's the problem he solved. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sitting there like, what? Jordan is the GOAT. I'm from Detroit. I'm a Piston fan. Nah, fam. It ain't happening. Bad boys for life. So it's things you got to think about. Carlos asks, how should you best slow down a client who is shopping in a hurry? They're interested, but they're moving too fast. Okay. 2 things we need to worry about in this situation. I love that question. 2 things we need to worry about. Are they moving fast because it's a time restraint? Or are they moving fast because they don't care? Some clients move fast to get you to move fast because they just want a quick answer. Some clients move fast because it's last minute. Stuff happened, right? What do FedEx do in that situation? Oh, we can get it there tomorrow, but it's extra. A client who really need a package there tomorrow don't care about paying extra because they need something there tomorrow. It's more important than the money you charging me. Clients that don't want to spend more because it's last minute is just trying to get a quick answer out of you so they can go shop it. I'm always mindful of clients that never have enough information before we get to the price. They just want a price. I never give a price. Hey, I need a video on what you think that'll cost? I have no idea. Are we shooting it on the moon? Where we shooting? There's so many variables and questions I need to ask to provide you with a better quote. Let me tell you something very important. Just having that mindset alone will start to separate you from the other guys that they talk to. The biggest trap in the world is blurting the price and not saying, you know what? I need more information. Blurting the price without having enough information, you lose all credibility at being an expert. You go from at that point, you're a drug dealer and not a doctor. I'm achy. Here goes some crack. Good luck. You become a drug dealer and not a doctor. We don't want to be drug dealers. We're not giving the same drug for everybody. We're writing prescriptions. That's what we're doing. We're understanding the problems our clients are having, and we're providing a solution to that problem in the form of content. That's what we do. Malik said, when it comes to working with clients consistently, do you think monthly is better than quarterly? I think this depends on the type of client you're working with and what they're trying to produce or create. It just depends. That's the equivalent of saying, if I'm a doctor and I'm giving a client a pill, should they take it every day or every week? It depends on what the pill is for. It depends on, the client. It just depends. I've had clients that we work with weekly, almost daily. So I think it just depends on the client that we're working with. And what's right for their situation. It's not a one size fit all. That's why here we teach you how to think and not what to think, because it's important that you go into this, because what works for one client may not work for the next client. Or you may be in that niche to the point where you understand this works better than that. Hey, client, in our past, when we do this weekly, we've gotten better results than clients who did it quarterly. Here's the proof. Oh, clients, I never thought about that. Man, you're right. Sales are up 50% when we do stuff weekly or monthly instead of quarterly. If you can provide that to a client will do it. Oh, snap. Well, thanks for sharing that. We never even thought about that. You're right. So that's why it's important to live within a niche and build experience solving that problem for other clients, because now you can walk in the door and say, yes, we're going to do this, that, and the other. This is what needs to happen, because big clients, they don't have expertise in what you have an expertise in. They need you to come and help. Think about it. Think about it like this. As your company right now, you don't want to pay somebody to come show you how to market. You want to pay somebody to do it. Man, I just want results. Guess what? That's going to cost more. Doesn't matter. If I got an expert on it that's going to give me results, I'm going to pay what it costs. I don't want the guys who like show me how to do it. They don't have the money to bring in a full-time expert. Of course, you gotta sacrifice your time to pull away from your company to go do something different within your company, even if it's a job within your company, because you don't have the funds to bring in somebody to do it dedicated. You're not going to get the results as somebody who live a life in marketing. They got 10 years ahead of you. You're not going to get the results. So why not bring in an expert? Clients who want results will bring in somebody who is an expert in that field. Get away from being an expert in photography and videography and exposure and making pretty pictures. Cell phones automatically do that. Cell phones automatically make pretty pictures. Be an expert in solving a problem for a specific target audience. That is where the bag is. And as we grow in an area where it's more AI and all of this stuff, the more niche you are, the better. Because AI is good at everything. It's difficult for it to be really, 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 really good in what you have. And you should be using these tools. That's why we talk about it all the time. You should be using these tools to grow your business and to offer a leg up on your competitors. You should be using these tools. We got some good tools over at list.flashfilmacademy.com, which is the tie list to talk about some of the AI tools we use that you should be using with your client. There's a video we dropped last week on the Flash Film Academy side where we talked about, I took you with me on a whole sales process with a client, a consultation. And on the second half of that video that's available to the members at Flash Film Academy, I talked about, look, these are the AI tools that I'm using to offer all of this stuff I've mentioned. The ability to write an article for a client, the ability to optimize their YouTube channel. These are all AI tools that I bought for one price that continue to make me money, that you should be using every day with each client. I mean, think about it. If me and you submit for a job for a client, we both charging $2,000, and you talking about a video, and I'm saying not only am I gonna create a video, I'm gonna write an article to support that video. I'm gonna optimize and provide keywords, title, and description for your YouTube channel. I'm gonna create the thumbnail. I can keep going. We're gonna create a short version for your TikTok, and we're gonna give you 5 Twitter posts to link back to the video. For the same price, who you gonna go with? And then I can explain why we need to create this extra content around the video, how it supports the video, how it helps the video be seen, and how it helps it be organic and evergreen for as long as humanly possible. Your boy over there is selling you a video you're gonna need to put money behind. I'm trying to grow it organically so it helps your website and the video can be seen. Now, if you choose to put money behind it, that's even more of a boost. But the difference is when I'm done with you as a client, your video will be in a position to organically grow. When he's done, he's gonna send you a file and tell you good luck. Same price, who you going with? It's not even up for debate. In 2024, you need to be bringing it like that. Because if you're not, you better hope I don't submit a proposal to a client you submitting a proposal to. You better hope none of the Flash Film Academy students are in the running for a job you trying to get on Thumbtack, Bark, or whatever. It's a wrap for you, bruh. It's game over. It's game over. Because the students at Flash Film Academy know how to bring it. This is what we do. We know the importance of using AI to help us grow our business. We know the importance of using AI to close more clients. We know the importance of using these tools to help provide more value to our client. you don't stand a chance. And as AI continue to grow, that window is getting even smaller for you, not for us. We're riding the wave. You're watching it. So it's very important that we start to think like that, because we're in an industry that is one of the industries that is suffering most from AI. It's happening. It will continue to happen. What are you going to do about it? Complain? Go in the comments and talk about people? And you better use it. You better know how to use it. You better find out how it can help you and what it can do for your business. It's very important that we understand the tools and understand the leverage that AI gives us as content creators and business owners. I can do so much more for my clients than I could just 2 years ago without adding anybody to my staff. What used to take me days or weeks is one click, and I can add it to my client. And they're like, how can you provide all of this for that price? But we can, because we seek, learn, and use the AI tools that are available to help our clients and to offer more value to our clients. That makes me more valuable than the other content creator that's submitted as well. So you need to be learning all of these AI tools, because guess what? In 2024, my company is not delivering a video to a client without a supporting article that is designed to rank in the keywords to support the video. It's a tandem. We're not delivering a video without an optimized description section in a YouTube channel. We understand that YouTube is the #2 search engine. We understand that 80% of all clients who buy anything look for it first on YouTube before they make a purchasing decision. Guess what, client? When you get a video from us, we're going to make sure not only that you're on YouTube, but you're on YouTube the right way. We're going to make sure that the supporting article on your website links back to that video so they both raise in rankings. We're going to make sure that your video is relevant to current search terms. We're going to make sure that your thumbnail stands out and that it has a strong call to action. We're going to make sure that it's easy to do business with you after watching this video. When we tell them to send them or provide them with a call to action, we're going to make sure that call to action is easy to do. To some of y'all, I'm speaking in a different language. But my client that's looking for a return on that investment, hear me loud and clear. So when you're in there in your proposal, just say video, video, video. We're going to take good video. We're going to use sliders. While you talking about sliders and camera equipment and 4K and 8K, I'm talking about SEO, a return on investment, call to action. I'm talking about engagement. I'm talking about ways to help solve the problem the client hired me to solve. You talking about Sony and Canon. Your client don't care. I can shoot half the stuff I shoot on the Osmo. Your client don't care. You think showing up with all this gear in 2024 makes you look special. It don't. It makes you look slow and old. Not saying you shouldn't have the right gear. The right gear is important. It plays a part. But the part it plays is equivalent to the right knife or pan that a chef used to cook the steak you just ordered. You don't care what the pan is cooked on. That is up to the chef. I'm not asking the chef, you cooking on stainless steel or what? What kind of pans you cooking my steak on? I'm cutting into the steak saying, damn, it's good. Never ever have I thought about how it was cooked. If anything, I'm thinking like, is it grilled? Is it fried? I don't even know. So this is how you need to be thinking moving forward with your company for your clients. The regurgitated old stuff that you've found on some YouTube channel that's telling you how to sell prints, that ain't it, Chief. It's not going to get you the bag anymore. Them days is over with. Them days are over with. You need to know how to move forward, and you need to know how to adapt to today's market. You do that by getting with a group of people who are in the field every day, who can say, hey guys, this is working for me over here. Y'all should try it. Hey, I'm over in this country. This is what we're doing over here. I got people in Ghana like, yo, this is what we're doing. People in Sweden like, hey, we did this, this, and this. We got members in Australia that's like, yo, we did this, that, and the other, and that's working for us. We got members in the UK that tell me all the time, we took a little bit of this and what you said over here and put it together, and we're up double-digit percentages this year. So it's important that you grow with the industry or you're going to get left behind. Happens all the time. All the time. A majority of our new members are guys who've been in the business for 10, 20 years, and they're like, dude, I'm losing traction. I can't get this thing to move forward. Because you're doing old items, you're doing old things in today's market, and it don't work like that. So when you're ready, we ready. Come check us out. You can download the app. Earl said, I stopped being the guy with the camera and became the guy with the clipboard. Now I'm checking off problems I can solve and what I can outsource. Absolutely. Outsourcing is huge. We still outsource a lot of stuff. Why not? I could sell it for $1,000 and outsource it for $200. That's an $800 profit. To do nothing, to sleep in. Why aren't you outsourcing? Oh, because the ego artist is talking, saying you got to touch everything. I got to be the guy to be the guy. For what? The client won't know the difference. In fact, the client may get better quality from you outsourcing it to somebody who need that $200 to make it this month. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not about being the camera guy anymore. It's about being the brains behind the camera. Everything your camera can do, AI can do. Everything your camera, before AI, everything your camera can do, your iPhone can do. It's been doing it. That's why iPhones are the #1 selling camera on the planet. And I said it in the last video. If you think we're not getting to a point where I know for sure, and this is just me being honest, and this is coming from a guy who got all the gear, 2 Reds, multiple Sonys. I got track dollies and 20-foot gimbals and car mounts, and let me be honest with you. I can shoot probably 90% of all of my corporate content on a cell phone or an Osmo Pocket 3, and my client wouldn't know the difference. Now, is that the case for shooting movies? Probably not. Pixel peepers, we need mad dynamic range because it's being shown on a big screen. But for a majority of what's streamed on the internet, on a client's website or YouTube channel, I can shoot it all on an iPhone or Osmo 3. Technology is just that great. Technology is just that good now. Your camera don't matter anymore. Stop thinking it do. I got a track dolly that's collecting dust. I ain't busted out since 2015. Just haven't had a reason to. So you need to be mindful of your ability to solve problems for your client. That will always be first. You know why? Because that's what's first for AI. AI is here to solve problems. It's coming to your phones. It's already in most of your phones. It's coming even more. Your ability to pop open an iPhone and get the correct exposure, that's brilliant. 20 years ago, how much, think about shooting with film. You barely had a light meter. You messed it up. If you messed up that shot, you didn't even know for a week that junk was out of focus, that the exposure was off. You ain't know for a week. Your iPhone is taking 1,000 pictures when you hit that shutter and layering dynamic range from every bracket to give you the most properly exposed image. It knows a face. It knows teeth need to be white and eyes need to be bright. It knows the sky need to be blue and the grass need to be green. We're going to add a little bit to it in a split second before we even show you the picture. Your camera can't do that. They leave it up to you to go back to Photoshop, to do Lightroom, your iPhone's doing all of that in the phone. It's not coming. It's here. It's leaving you behind. And you need to be mindful of what's out. You can't walk around with this ego of I'm this great photographer or videographer. That's why I'm going to get hired if you don't solve problems. You need to get with it. So, something to think about. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to get ready to roll. Wherever you are, please hit the like button. Please hit the thumbs up. Please leave a review on the if you're listening on Spotify, on Apple, if you're not a Flash Film Academy member, every week I come on here and I give you reasons why you should be. If you think the free stuff is dope, if you think the ingredients are dope, wait till I give you the recipe. Wait till I put it all in order and say, do this, don't do that. It's going to be worth a whole lot more to you. If you've learned anything from watching these videos, anything, you have to understand that the Academy is going to 10x that. I can lead you to water. I can't make you drink. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to say, I'll see y'all next week, same time. My gold members, my Flash Film Academy members, I will see you on the accountability call tomorrow. You know how we do. And y'all be safe.
You've been listening to Content and Cash, a Flash Film Academy podcast. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and go to our webpage at www.flashfilmacademy.com.